your life and the journey you put yourself through, there's nothing more than that. And that's all I want people to do is realize that you have to struggle. You have to struggle. The bigger the struggle, the bigger the peace. The bigger the suffering, the more peace. I was 290 pounds twice in my life. I do not like to do the things I do, but there's humongous satisfaction from doing it. There's humongous satisfaction from lacing your shoes up saying, I don't really want to go for a run today. And then running. And then getting back and saying, wow.
I did it.
I did it.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. It's about these small steps to doing things you don't want to do. Normal day for me, a normal day. So let's say a light day.
Light day.
Light day is at least a 7-mile run. Every other day, so about 4 days a week, calisthenics plus gym workout. So I don't do any gym workout without hitting pull-ups, push-ups. I call it nickels and dimes. So like 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, or I'll go, quarters and whatever, like it's like 25 pull-ups or in like 50 push-ups. So I have all these different things I mess up. So I will do weights with calisthenics, and every single night I stretch. For at least every night, I stretch for at least 2 hours.
2 hours?
Every night.
I tried once to get in the Air Force to be an Air Force pararescueman, and I quit for fear of the water. I was 175 pounds. I left the Air Force 4 years later at 300 pounds. So I came home one day from working at a job called Ecolab where I sprayed for cockroaches. Made $1,000 a month, weighing 300 pounds. And I got home and I watched a show on Discovery Channel of guys carrying boats and logs, Navy SEAL training. And I decided to make a change in my life. And I called the recruiter up and he asked me these questions. You had to meet a certain age, like a certain height and weight limit. I was 6'1" and 300 pounds. He laughed at me. 7 other recruiters laughed at me. One recruiter finally said, "Come on in, I'm too busy to talk to you on the phone." He didn't know how much I weighed. I walked in the recruiter's office and he looked at me and he said, "You're fat and you're black." I said I want to be a Navy SEAL. I didn't know there'd only been 35 African-American Navy SEALs at that time in over 70 years. He said I basically had to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 months because of my age. I was getting too old. I came back 3 months later, 106 pounds lighter, and literally I spent 18 months going through BUDS, which is a 6-month program. Went through 3 hell weeks. That is where I met Marcus Luttrell, Danny Dietz, Michael Murphy, another Medal of Honor winner. I went through Hell Week with all these guys, real heroes. I am not a hero. I served with real heroes. And from there, I went on to raise over $2 million for the Special Operations Warrior Foundation. And I used to look for courage. I thought courage was a man who won the Medal of Honor. It is. But courage is a man who's willing to put those boots on every single day of his life to go out there and fight for this country where nobody even knows what the hell they're doing or where the hell they're at. You do it for the man beside you.
I believe that most human beings are only living at about 40% of their capability. So the mind has a governor, like a car. If you're driving a car and the car has a governor on it, the car may say 130 miles an hour, but the governor is set for 91. Once that governor sets in, you get to 91, that car starts doing this. The car wants to go. The car wants to go, but that fucking factory said, we're not going past 91. We have a factory, a nice governor in our brain, and it's a survival mechanism. It protects us from pain and suffering. The second we feel that shit, our mind says, oh no, this isn't fun. We should back off. We should sit down, find something more comfortable. And there's something about the mind. The mind has the tactical advantage over you at all times. At all times of your life, the mind has a tactical advantage over you. Why is that? It knows what you're afraid of. It knows your insecurities. It knows your deep, dark lies. And it starts to push you away from that shit. It pushes you in a direction that is comfortable. The mind controls everything. So the 40% rule is all of that. You get to 40%, your brain says, we're done. Let's roll, man. This is starting to get painful. This is uncomfortable. So you sit down. It's a habit. At 40%, I'm feeling pain. That's where the 40% rule kicks in. Now it starts. Okay, I'm feeling pain. My mind's saying all this shit to me. It's saying, get out of here, run, flee. The fight or flight kicks in. Okay, we're done, we're not good enough. It starts telling you all these things. You start to believe it because the mind controls all. This is the time where you have to gain control back of your mind. And say, okay, let me see if I can go 45%. And once you start giving yourself more and more hope and start realizing, okay, the mind starts to be, okay, what are you doing? We're supposed to be going right and you're going left. You start then controlling your mind. Start finding more in yourself. And then it goes from 40% to a lot further than that. But that's the start of it though. Get to the spot where your mind is saying stop. Wherever that is, you gotta get there first. And then that's when that shit starts to work for you. You gotta control yourself in that moment.
Do you know the best project you'll ever work on? Just in case you didn't know, the best project you'll ever work on is you. There's no project that will give you a greater return on investment. There's no project that will give you better relationships, better results, better finances. There's no project that will give you a better life, more than the project of working on yourself. The greatest version of you is waiting for you. But that version will only be realized if you do the work. You must do that work. The problem is, most people aren't willing to put in that work. They sooner pick up a beer before a book because a book might remind them they have a long way to go. And most people aren't willing to go the distance. What they fail to understand though, is all those easy and comfortable choices now lead to a harder life later. All those choices that require no brain activity now, fry your brain later. All of those choices, little by little add up to a great big problem later. And that problem is called disappointment. And there really could be no greater pain than that of being disappointed in yourself. The good news is that it is never too late to start working on the best version of you. It's never too late to say, today is the day. Today is the first day of the rest of my life. It's never too late to start reversing all the poor decisions you have made by building new, stronger habits that will lead to new, impressive results. Problem number 2, though, is just around the corner. And that problem is that most people don't have the staying power. They either don't see immediate results and quit far too soon, or they get to a certain level, a level far from their actual potential, and then they go back to their old habits, which will bring about the same old results.
Listen to me. You don't need a better phone. You don't need a better home. You don't need better circumstances. You need a better mindset. Mindset is everything. It's the difference between an average life and a magic life. The best version of you is waiting for you to claim, but you'll never see that version if you quit. You'll never know your greatest self if you give up. And how sad would that be? You never meeting the best version of yourself because you gave up too soon. Never knowing how far you could have gone. Always wondering, what if? Forever living in regret, knowing you could have pushed just a little bit harder for a better life. Knowing you could have pushed a little harder to set a different example, to break the invisible limit barrier that has stood for generations. You can be the one to break that barrier. You have to decide. There is no greater project you could ever work on than yourself. The better you are, the better everyone in your world is. Your example is seen by everyone you love. Will they see a positive example? Or will they see someone who never pushed for their true potential? Will they see someone who gave everything to be the very best they could be? Or will they see someone who settled for every easy option that was put in front of them? You must fight! You must fight for your best life. Great lives aren't handed out. They don't just appear through Netflix and Facebook. You have to work on you to bring that version out of yourself. And that work is not a one-time thing. It's a lifestyle. It's a commitment. And it's an honor. Start chipping away at everything you want out of your life and replace those things with only things that make you stronger, better, happier. Develop a daily practice that makes you better. Make that practice a habit by doing it every single day. I mean, nothing can get in the way of this daily ritual you create for yourself. Reading, listening, learning, applying, gratitude, meditation, exercise, preparation, health, wealth, everything that matters to you. This is your new life. This is a new you. The best you are creating.
The greatest project you will ever work on deserves priority over everything because it affects everything. Do that work on you. Always.